This is Material Girl. I got another recipe. Okay, so don't mind my stove over there. I overspilled something that I was cooking and it went all over and I have to clean it again. Okay, so now I have some oil in here. Let me first tell you what I'm making. Okay, so we're taking a tour of my kitchen, my very crowded kitchen right now. I have pork loin. And what I did was I made a slit inside of it and I opened it up, right? So I flattened it, okay? So in this pork loin, I'm going to stuff it, but I'm stuffing it Italian style. And there's a lot of recipes out there, but this is what I grew up on, okay? So in this recipe, I have my pecorino romano. No, this is Lucatelli cheese. I have some parsley here. Now, this is my compost bin. And I had some parsley and it was turning yellow. So before I put it in the compost, I'm going to use it in the pork loin. I have salt and pepper. I have some seasoned breadcrumb. Over here, I have pecorino romano cheese, which is over here. I have some onions. I have some garlic. This is pancetta, and I put it in the little blender, and I blended it up, and I keep it frozen. So if you guys are at the Italian deli or something, and you see the pancetta, this is how I buy it. I buy it it comes in a log. And this is imported from Italy. So it comes in a big log. And then I cut it up in slices, about that thick. And I freeze them. You know, I wrap each one individually and then I freeze them. Then when I want them, I just put them, you know, in my dish. And with this recipe, I have parsley. And I have some shallots. And these are some red onions with sun-dried tomatoes. I may add a little bit more. Right now, I have oil, extra virgin olive oil in the pan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an oil. You know, like you're sauteing the garlic. So I'm just putting a couple pieces of garlic in here. And I have it on very low because I don't want to burn the garlic. I want my garlic to... I'm going to add more garlic to this. I want the garlic to get nice and... crispy, and then I mash it up into the oil. And I have also here, I didn't show you, I have a little sachet of rosemary, and I put it in some cheesecloth, and I wrapped it up. And this I'm going to infuse into the oil, or I'm going to put it just in the meat. Okay? All right, now since I don't have my tripod, I'm sorry guys, I lost it. And I'm going crazy because I need it. So I have to order it. So now I'm going to let this cook. And then the next step, I'll show you after this is cooked, after the garlic is cooked, what the next step is. The second part of the pork loin. And now you see the garlic is getting nice and gold. And I'm turning it around. I have it on very low. I don't have it on high. But you'll be able to right now... in a couple more minutes. Come on. I can't turn the clove around. Alright, doesn't matter. Alright. Now what you want to do is you want to mash the garlic up so that it infuses into the oil. I can't tell you guys how good my house smells now. Like the mashed garlic in the oil. Okay, so now I'm going to shut this off. No, I'm not going to shut it off. I'm going to put my onions in, my shallots. I know, I'm moving the camera a lot. I'm sorry. I'm going to add a little bit more of the shallots. The shallots are very pungent, so you don't need a lot. Plus, I don't have a big piece. So this piece that I bought I bought it in BJ's. I didn't go to Costco. I find that Costco is getting way too expensive for their meats. BJ's had a better price, and they have choice meats too. So I got this whole big pork loin, and I cut it up, and I was able to make 4 sections to it. And it's just for me and my husband cooking. So now I'm going to make the heat a little bit higher. And I'm going to saute the onions. Put a little bit of parsley. And of course I have to have my garlic powder. Because, you know, can't survive without the garlic powder. And I'll put a little bit of onion powder. This is a pain in the neck, guys. One hand. Even though I have enough onions in there. And a little sprinkle of 21 seasoned salute. I love that seasoning. Okay, so I'm going to saute the onions a little bit. And I don't have them on too high. And when I saute them a little bit more, then I'm going to add the pancetta. And then I'm going to take it out. And I'll show you the next step. This is the third part. Now, I just added the pancetta into the onions and the shallots and the sun-dried tomatoes and fresh parsley and the garlic into the oil. And now what I'm doing is just letting it fuse in the flavors all together. If you don't have pancetta and you have bacon, you can use bacon. So, you know, don't think that you have to get pancetta. If you can't find it, no worries. You can use bacon. And then I would do, you know, just chop up the bacon, little tiny little strips, and then just, you know, saute it the way I'm sauteing it. And I sprinkled a little bit of salt, but not too much, and a little bit of pepper, because on the meat, I have already sprinkled some salt and pepper. So I want this to get a little bit of color, and I want it to get gold. You know, I want it to cook a little bit, because you don't want to cook the meat and have this raw in it. This has got to cool too, because I'm putting it in meat. Now I have my oven set for 275 degrees, and then I'll tell you the next step. What I did now is I shut the stove off, and I added one. I think this is like a, I don't even know. It's already worn off. Maybe it's I'm thinking a quarter cup, half a cup, I don't know. So I'm just sprinkling some breadcrumb, seasoned breadcrumb on this, because this is going to be a paste, and you're going to put this on top of the meat. You're going to spread it on top of the pork. And I'm going to add a little bit more parsley, because this dish tastes the best with a lot of parsley. And you got to put cheese. So what I have here is some cheddar cheese that I grounded up before. I'm going to put some cheese in there to give like tomorrow I have to like tomorrow, I have to buy a tripod. Okay, now I got this off, so I don't want it on. And now I'm going to sprinkle some more cheese, Pecorino Romano. This stuff is worth its weight in gold. I think it's more expensive than gold is. Okay, so now mixing it up nice and nice. What I did was I added some cranberries to the stuffing, and the cranberries are going to give it like a sweet, tarty flavor. So if you want, and you don't have cranberries, you have raisins, you can put raisins in here. You can also put prunes, but I would cut the prunes first a little bit. The meat is ready, and I can't hold the camera and stuff the meat. I'm going to lay the cheese down, okay? Because then I'm going to fold it, and then I have some twine that I'm going to wrap it up with. And then I will show you after it's finished, before I put it in the oven. Next part of the pork loin, I have it cooking at 275 until I get the internal temperature up to about 135 degrees. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out and I'm going to sear it in a pan with a little bit of oil just to give it a browning color to it. And that's what gives it the color. By cooking it at 275 for about an hour and a half, you're soaking in all the juices and it's just marinating in its own succulent flavor. Okay? So I'll show you the next part when I saute it in the pan. Almost final step of the pulled pork, listen to me. The final step for the pork loin, the stuffed pork loin, it looks beautiful, but as you notice, I took it out at 135. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up the pan and I'm going to just get this all brown. The inside meat is done, and I just want to give it some coating and, you know, just give it a little brownness, I guess, on the fat side of it. And I'm going to take some of the oil that's on the pan and I'm going to use that to saute it. Step for the pork loin, and what I'm doing is I'm just browning it. I want to get a nice color on the top. That's it. It's done. I'm going to take it out of the pot, put it back into the pan that I had it in, and just enjoy it. That's it. It's a beautiful dish. It's going to taste delicious. The cranberries give it a nice sweet flavor to it. Guys, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please post them below. And please subscribe to my channel because I always have other videos coming in. And just enjoy it. Enjoy this dish. This is a beautiful dish. Okay, bye. This is the pork loin. And as you can see, it's succulent, it's moist, and it looks beautiful. It's not overcooked. And it's not undercooked. It's perfect. So, guys, I advise you to try this recipe. It's really delicious. If you have any comments, please post them below. If you subscribe to my channel, I always have other videos coming in. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay?